Yo, what is up guys? It's me Eve again here playing Kaiju number 8. In today's video we're gonna do some tier list for all of the characters that is currently out, including the new Gen. We're gonna talk about how good are they and everything. Like we're gonna talk about all of the modes in general and how the characters doing in general with the basically perfect conditions when you have both the weapon and the character themselves, uh, of course, without like doing some experimentation stuff when you have like a different character with a different weapon and stuff like that. We'll just use a standard version of them without anything, any crazy tactics, that someone might pull off. So obviously, I think we'll start with the just we'll go with just in a row. I think Kaiju number 8 is actually very strong, really good single target DPS. He's also like one of the good things about him is that he doesn't need a gear. Uh, Maybe that could also be one of the bad reasons, but also he's like his basic damage is so high that he actually is very strong, and because of that, I do really find him really good. Overall, he is definitely one of the good characters that could finish up the bosses pretty easily and make your life much more easier. Hikaru, I think like mostly no use for her. No point in even talking about her because like all of the SR characters except for the supports, there's no really point for any damage dealers in there. So I'm gonna just poorly put them to D and C because no one really uses them. Aside from supports are actually there's some interesting stuff into them. In terms of supports, Mina and Hoshin, I think I'll both put them both on S because both of them are incredible. Uh, I mean, Hoshino is a little bit better than Mina, but I think because they're both are 4 stars, so you don't really need any luck. For example, to get someone like Chester, who's definitely the best support in the game, but for them, you already have them. You probably already have them by now, at least on A3, probably on A6. Most of you who started since day one, and those are just like the Hoshino speed buffs, his just overall damage buffs, the Mina's damage buff. Mina is basically Chester, but a little bit weaker. Chester is basically a buffed version of I think Mina overall. But Mina is also incredible, I think, and because purely because she is kind of like a free to play character, because you can build her and she's gonna be a great support. I would put her in S. Reno again, the same thing. No need for him. There's like literally 0 point of having someone like him in the team. I think like most of these characters, you don't really see any use from them. They don't have any like they're good. Maybe I'm even gonna put them into the B here, just because like they can work, but there's no point in using them because you have the SSR characters like the 5 stars characters. You don't need those 4 star characters. The other 4 star character that I would say is really good is the healer. I don't remember her name. I think it's Akari, but she's actually very decent in some modes. When there's like a lot of turns that is gonna go in, or right there right now, you can actually use Akari, and she's gonna be very useful because she can heal. Her normal heal is a single, and her ultimate is gonna be healing the whole team. And if you have the exact good level ups with her as well as the healing multipliers, then she could actually be very useful. And I do think a lot of people sleep on her because she's very good. I think these ones are no much use. Kikoru, I think also is okay. Maybe I will actually put them into B, like into C here still. And she's gonna be in B because she's very situational. Hikaru is gonna be in A. I think she is a great breaker. She has an AoE skill as well as she has a single target, as well as her ultimate is also a single target, and she can debuff the defense on the enemies as well. And because of that, I think she's very useful. I think these two are also great. They're both supports as well, but they're not as good as Mina and Hoshino. Overall, I think those two are much better. But they also are pretty decent as well, like very situational. If you just need, like, let's say you're in need of a second support in the team, and you already have like Mina in one and Hoshino in the second one, and then you need another two supports, and you don't have Chester. This is the where these two could come in handy. Tae is also gonna go in C. Again, no use for that DPS. Sagant is the first of the SS type of character. Incredible. And also kind of like a supporting damage dealer. She doesn't do as big of damage as, for example, like Hoshino or Gen, obviously, or like even Kaiju number 8, or like even Hikaru will do more damage. But she does actually very, very decent damage. And because of that, she's very useful, as well as her basic skills are also really, really good. Hoshino, again, incredible character. Unfortunately, I don't have the Sagan again. In terms of Sagan, I don't have her, but just based on how I've seen her perform, or other people use her, she looks very strong and very solid. Hoshino, again, probably best character in the game, aside from, I think, the Chester, because again, Chester is super universal. The same goes for Hoshino. That slash damage that he does, his single target, his all AoE damage, everything is just top notch. Best fucking damage dealer in the game. No one is even close to how good this fucking guy is. He's incredible. Chester, the best support in the game. Obviously, he's gonna be in top. No one is getting close to how good this guy is. I think he's incredible. A must-have support. Just purely because of even his standard support is already good, but then he has also an ultimate that buffs the whole team. Like, he's just too insane, as well as he can do some decent damage as well. Like, his damage is not as bad as you might think. Mina, I think Mina is overall actually good. If you have a full build on her, she can do massive damage. Like, her damage is really strong. And probably like on lower investments, she's not as great. But once you get to almost full on investments onto her and weapon, again, I know that's a very hard thing to do if you're not like based on luck, just purely. That's gonna be very hard to do, but once at some point you will probably get her maxed out, and this is where she's gonna come in handy, and she's gonna be very good for bossing. If you need just a single target that's gonna be doing massive damage, she's definitely one of those characters. Oshino, I think overly he's only useful in the mode that is requires you to have like an attack for a lot of enemies, like for example the large conquest currently. That's the only place he's useful. Other than that, I don't think he's that great. Overall, his damage, like on a lot of enemies, that's where it comes in clutch on the large conquest. Other than that, that damage is pretty small and not that useful. I think overall Gen is really strong as well. I would put him over Kaiju number 8, just because I think overall his damage is much higher than Kaiju number 8. If you have the full gear on him, you go for those crits, and you can go crazy just spamming his fucking ult as well as his attacks and clearing the bosses very, very easily. Isao, I would actually put him in here, but because Sagan exists in this game, I'm gonna put him into S. I think he's also incredible, a really, really strong unit. Does require you some investments into him to make him good, because I think overly, like from my experience when I had him only on like A0, I didn't see much of use from him, but once you get a lot of investments into him, he actually becomes insanely good. Rin, I think overall Rin is much better than a lot of people anticipate her. She's not only useful in large conquest, but as well as in any other mode that requires you to clear waves. I think she's really good for that. She breaks characters easily. She does a lot of damage. She can also do more than 3 characters damage if you need those. Maybe for bossing, obviously she's not that great. But there's some type of bosses that also use 3 characters, and that's where she could come in much handier than Kikoru or like Hoshino for that sense. In here, so I'm gonna put her in here. Reno, incredible. Those debuffs, those damage dealing capacity, his follow-ups, everything about him is just also incredible. Big damage, big debuffs. I love him so much. Like he's probably one of my favorite characters, especially when paired up with Hoshino. they synergize so well together. Like especially when he breaks, he gets to follow up. When he breaks, he gets to follow up, and that's when the magic of the damage comes in clutch. Kafka is actually also decent. He has some also uses, especially because he can transform into the Kaiju number 8. That's well. I'm actually gonna put Akari maybe in here because out of all of the like 4 stars, I think she's in here. All of the 4 stars, she comes in clutch more time than anyone else in there. But definitely not like higher than in like as good as these two. But Kafka has some use, but again, not really important or nothing to really go for. No reason to basically go for her, for him if you have all of the 5 stars for sure, or at least like most of them to make 2 teams for sure. Kikoru, I think Kikoru is really good. Kikoru is extremely good. I've been using her the whole time. Now I got the new Gen. I'm kind of using the new Gen over the Kikoru. But I think she's overall really strong. And sometimes when I need for like boss has like the smaller fries around him, I do pick her because she has a lot of buffs that she applies. And she's overall incredibly good. As well, I do think she works well with a lot of the characters, especially also like if you pair her up with Hoshino and Reno, and then you put some like other one support with them. It's basically easy clear any content. Any content in the game, I think that team can easily clear it. As well as if you're like, again, she's switchable because if you're using one support, for example, as a Chester, your full main DPS is gonna be Hoshino, your sub DPS as well as aka debuffer is gonna be Reno. Then you're probably gonna put either Isao or you're gonna put the Sagant as your kind of like a second support, like a tank basically. You're gonna put them, and because of that, she does fall off. I think a bit. I think if she would also give more buffs and more debuffs, that would be better. That would make her actually be more viable. But again, we'll see. Maybe like I don't have her full weapon yet. Like I don't have. I have only her an A1 weapon. Don't have it on A6, so maybe if I had it on A6, she would be even better. Maybe I would actually put her in here. But I'm genuinely really impressed with her, and I think she's really incredible and definitely worth getting or like investing if you have her weapon as well as herself, obviously too. The new Gen, I think he's probably like here. I would almost put him in here. He's incredibly great, but also he just basically does the same thing as the standard Gen. But I think you can just do, if you're like, there is a lot of players that are currently using the ult spamming technique on him. I think that's also a pretty interesting build for him, and I do think that also does make work with that. But you can also go full DPS. But I think he's just the same thing as kind of Gen, and if you just need a good solo target damage dealer, this is where Gen comes in. That's like the best role for him. For example, if you don't have Kaiju number 8 or you don't want to invest on him and you just get, for example, New Gen with his weapon, you go for it. He's definitely probably one of the best single targets in the game. If you don't count, for example, Hoshino, Reno, and Standard Gen, I think those are just a little bit better than him overall in terms of use. But he's also incredible. I think maybe in future, if I get more experience with him, or if there's going to be content that we really need him in, he could be, I could put him higher, but I think overall he's somewhere here, like really kind of in between these two for now. I think I'll put him here, but maybe in future I will do some changes for this for sure. Other than that, hopefully you liked the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me what do you think about this one. Would you change something about this tier list? What are your characters tier list, as well as you can share your tier list in the Discord as well if you're if you want to show me what you think about the characters in there for sure. Hopefully you all have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.